Welcome, my beautiful soul family, my soul brothers and sisters. I thank you for taking the time to learn more about your true self, who you really are, who we really are. And if you have been somehow prompted by coincidences that led you to the term light worker, I can assure you it's not merely a coincidence. And if you happen to find this video, I think it's about time for you to learn more about your true self. Yes, I can relate to your feelings of being different from the majority, growing up, feeling being alienated in this harsh world full of competitions, fear, anger, doubt, jealousy, hate, expectations, conformity, meaning that you have to suppress yourself and denounce your true identity just to fit in. I understand that longing feeling to go home, those heavy feeling on your chest when you look at the sky, gazing at the star at night. You just want to go home but not knowing where. You wonder why are you here, living in this dark and overwhelming world. Is it you being hypersensitive to everything and everyone around you? And did you choose to come here in the first place? And many of you have prayed for an escape. Sadly, many of us are unable to cope with the pressures, have to resort to substances, different forms of addictions, physical pleasure, and other self-destructive behaviors, while the rest just feel completely overwhelmed and smothered by this harsh reality of dense and dark earthly realm, while the rest just end up in the most tragic consequences. But I'm here to tell you that you are not alone, and you have always been watched and cared for and guided since the very first day you came into this physical world. Even when you were just a blotch of blood in your mom's body, or during your sleep as an infant, a toddler, during your study in school, work, or when you board a plane or a cruise on a holiday, there have always been spiritual guide, spiritual teacher looking after your back and giving you signs when you need to tap into your instinct to make decisions that matter the most. And I know my life, just like your life, it has been a series of well-orchestrated events for us to experience this physicalness, for you to apply the lessons that you have learned, or sometimes relearn those that we haven't learned so well. These lessons can be lessons of unconditional love, self-love, forgiveness, humility, patience, and many others. Sometimes lessons of pain, physical as well. For light workers, one of the major tests we have to face is to remember our true self when the time comes. It's not an easy process for many of us. It wouldn't be a test if we can remember everything, right? That's what they say. For light workers, we here are the physical beings, but our souls originated from the higher realms of the spiritual, of energy and existence. We have lived many lifetimes on the other realms and have attained the spiritual enlightenment. And because of this spiritual advancements and the light energy embodied, we operate on the higher vibrational energy. That is the energy of unconditional love. In fact, we are the volunteers to come here to incarnate into this physical body to share our healing abilities through light and love. Why? Because the mission was to help raise the vibrations of Earth and to help accelerate the progress of mankind towards light, so that one day mankind can be on par with the star brothers and sisters in our galactic community. But many of us are not quite aware of the psychic supernatural abilities that we have, because they are mostly in a dormant state until times of awakening. These abilities can be yourself being hypersensitive. That is when you can read people's energy and intentions. This sensitivity sometimes make it feels like your world is full of noise, competitions, density, jealousy, and you feel sometimes you're under attack, like a heavy and dark energy after just few minutes into conversation with someone, or simply a thought of someone. It triggers a memory or emotions that make you doubt yourself. You feel unworthy. And I can tell you, sometimes these beings, they are trapped in the low vibrations energy of doubt, of jealousy and fear. That's why they constantly like to draw competitions and comparison. They know to ask certain things to trigger you, and your job is to let yourself be guided with unconditional love. That is forgiveness, love, and enlightenment. However, be reminded that everything should be done in moderation, because you need to look out for yourself first. Self-love is the foundation of all kinds of love. You need to fill your own cup first before you fill others, so that you will save from the risk of running into these so-called the energy vampires. These are the beings that just drain your energy completely and never give anything back in return. And there must be a two-way flow of energy to achieve the balance. So remember that there must be a give and take. Okay? Don't just give. And of course, I understand that being a light worker, you are highly empathetic towards people's pain and suffering. That is our ability to see all living beings, a plant or animal or other human beings or spirits, being connected from the deepest level, because we are all connected from the same source of creations. Sometimes when we miss a meal due to busy schedules, and the moment we have our first spoon of delicious home-cooked meal or our first bite of the sandwich, we think of the children starving in Syria, or deep people who left traumatized in Lebanon, or those people queuing hours just for clean water in Venezuela. We wonder why humans keep hurting and causing sorrow to one another. As a light being, we came into this earthly realm with the deep connections to the light energy source intact. And because of such intensity of light energy, the whole process of awakening to our true self has to be a gradual process and timed carefully to avoid the shock during the transitions into the physical, because you can imagine the intensity of energy. And in order to assist the awakening process, we need to master the lessons of detachment and impermanence. That is, we need to learn to detach from the material ones in this physical world. We must learn not to cling onto anything. We should learn how to welcome people in our life, embrace them, and when it is time for their departure, let them go. We tend to want more of everything, and we want everything in our life to be permanent. But the question is, are we even permanent? Is this physical body permanent? The answer is so clear. It's not permanent. Therefore, we must let go of the physical illusion too. Only our spiritual essence is eternal. And one day, we all will go home to where we originate in our truest form with divine energy of love and light. It will happen, we all will get there. And with that, I would like to conclude this video with a message for our beautiful light workers. I'd like you to continue to be strong, embrace your authenticity and let it guide you. Be authentically beautiful, and I thank you for your bravery, for your volunteer work, and continue to be the light to shed hope and enlighten others along your journey. I thank you for your work on behalf of the universe. Thank you from the deepest corner of my heart.